Hello, everybody. Say hello to Mr. Ziggy because you're back for another Shatterdaze with Venom 420 and my buddy Ziggy. Hopefully, all is well. Hopefully, this is going through decently. Where are you deciding to go? Where are you going, bud? All right. So, again, hopefully, this is going through. Like I said, got kicked out of what I just did. Network problems. Blah, 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 blah. But we are back. We got a cat. So, hopefully all is well. It was a beautiful day in Denver. I got some gardening done in the sense that I started I mixed up a bunch of soil to start and put them in pots. I got a bunch of seedlings going. I only got one that's doing, well, I got two. They're doing kick ass. I have a fucking shit load more to go. But yeah, it's spring. It's time to be fucking getting shit growing. My goal this year is to grow as much shit as absolutely possible. I also put up my wine cap mushrooms outside. So I'm talking wine cap mushrooms, peppers, veggies, all types of shit. Bunch of tomatoes, pot plants growing. Very excited to see what the summer brings as far as new growth and new veggies and new stuff. So hopefully everyone out there is doing well in dreamy Dreamsville. Here we go. All right. This comment has been removed by YouTube, says the strange looking man. I water tomato plants with milk now and then for a good yield. I never heard of that. It's a little, hey kitty, a little different. I'm excited that I'm able to. This is the first time I've ever made my own soil and made everything myself. It saves you a little bit of money, I'm sure, as opposed to buying potting soil because I'm buying bulk. I'm doing a shitload. But yeah, I'm hoping I save some money. But either way, it's just been really cool to do. I'm excited to see how well my blend holds up throughout the year. I've been also considering making a couple of greenhouses, but as of right now, I'm not sure I need a greenhouse. You know, it seems like I'll just grow stuff in the summer and it'll just do its thing. On paper, a greenhouse sounds awesome, but if I had a greenhouse, I'd be way too tempted to throw pot plants in there. All right, Mr. Removed by YouTube. It's a compost tea fan. I'm a compost tea fan. So I can't do composting where I live, but that's something I want to do in the future. And I would like to get more into gardening because I know so little about it. I've grown pot for a long time, but it was all hydro. I've only really grown hydro. The only times I didn't grow hydro, I got potting soil that was made for pot, like for cannabis. It was, I think I've gotten Big Roots and something else, but it was clearly they're stoner-owned brands, and you just water the dirt that I had But this time I did it all myself, and it was super easy. I opted for cocoa coir instead of peat moss, mostly because I like to have cocoa coir around anyway for growing mushrooms, which is something I should do tonight too, is get some mushrooms going too, another batch, which, anyway, so cocoa coir instead of peat moss, vermiculite instead of perlite because I had more of it available. And again, I use those two items for growing mushrooms. So it's just super convenient to buy a huge bulk amount of them, and then I can use them as I need it. Yeah. So, but here's to happy gardening. What else did I throw in there? Some worm castings, cow castings, which I'm not a big fan of using cow manure, but I had a whole bunch. So, well, not a whole bunch, but enough to use. Hey, Kenzie. Hello. Hello, and welcome back to the hut. Chiba the hut. Oh, and we lost a kitty. Good to have you. Hopefully all is well. We're going to do a quick little... did I even grab my stuff? I might have to grab some dibs. Grab some dibs. Adam himself. What up, man? What are we smoking on tonight? Got some GMO rosin dabs here in Oregon. Oregon. So I had just recently had some GMO shatter or wax or something, and I was wondering, what is GMO stand for? I mean, genetically modified organisms, right? So I don't know, but it was good. The stuff I had was good too. So navigation. This comment has been removed from YouTube, but not the next. That's kind of funny. Garlic cookies. Is that what it is? The GMO? This comment has been removed by YouTube. Oh, that's the channel name. I know, which is, it's making this a lot easier. I don't know why they say GMO, but it's garlic cookies. Okay, see, thank you. I asked this not long ago when I had it. I was on one of these shows and smoking some. I am smoking on some green crack that I grew. Although it was just a little teeny-tiny plant that I just used to mother and cut clothes off of, so it wasn't like anything special. But it's nice to have some homegrown growing. We got some... God, what is this shit? I had the bag. It's some shit, but it's okay. From Mighty Tree. I've been getting a lot of bargain pot because I'm growing. I'm like, I'm just waiting for my own shit to come up. Adam, love green crack. One of my favorite sativas. So I've learned that green crack, I picked it to grow. I went through a seed company and I had everything to choose from. I went green crack because it was an old school favorite. Again, one of my favorite sativas, one of my favorite pots. I've known it throughout almost all of my smoking days. But I will say this. It just grows so much different than everything I've ever grown that it hasn't done that great for me. It keeps on, it's just so lanky. It just keeps on growing out and growing out and growing out. I'm like, you need to just shorten up and bud up. You know what I mean? I can't. So there's just a lot of topping involved that I need to do for my next batch if I keep growing this strain. I have to flower it extremely early because it just keeps growing, dude. Like it grows another like 3 feet after you fucking clone it or after you flower it. So anyway, I am about to grab some glue, just some glue shatter, which I'm sure is a gorilla glue. I'll be right back. And we're gonna do a little e-dab before I even spin the wheel of dabs, because I finally gave in and used some rubbing. Why did I drop that? Where did it go? Well, I'll get it when I come back. But I finally decided to clean this out a little bit, enough to at least hit it. And we'll do some e-dabs. Some e-dabbing of some glue, because that's what I'm smoking on at the moment. That or some black cherry orchard, or I got some white champagne wax that's ridiculous. All right. But this is good stuff. This glue, the old glue as they call it, is some good stuff too. It's very clear, but very, it's got that really ambery yellow look to it. So it's very terpy. I'm just a fan. It's a little soft for shatter, but it looks damn good. It tastes damn good. And it smokes damn good. So we'll do one of them right there. I gotta find this carb cap that fucking dropped on the floor real quick. There we are. Jesus, checking in with you, Venom. Bought a bottle of red wine. Gonna shear up a steak. Shear. Oh, well, here's to everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one. Let's get some dabbage. Still on the tolerance break. Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes. Let's do that. There we go. That looks a little better. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, indeed. Indeed. I'm still on my sobriety break. It's been a long time. I've been holding off on it. There we go. There. Oh, there is a flavor. All hail our half-inflated Dark Lord and Master. Dang, I'll tell you what. Whoo! God damn. Well, that's that for you. Nice. All right. Jesus. Huh? Anyway. Love that. We don't need it. But, oh, fuck me. Jesus, I'm going to get blazed on 420 and then nice hit. Very nice hit. Woo! This fucker rips. I ended up getting a little e-dabber. I got one at the head shop because I needed one right away, but you can get them online for cheaper. You know, you just take it with you. And then I bought this little second one that they sell. Can't see where the top is, but there's a little mouthpiece that kind of hooks onto it like this. But I noticed at some point, I'm like, oh, dude, if I just take it and put it on upside down, which I probably shouldn't have done that like that because I just got all hashy, but all right, I'm like, I could probably just take it and put it upside down. And then you got yourself an 18 millimeter attachment. I'm like, and I know I got an 18 mil bong. Blam! E-dabber. E-nail. Now I have this little thing that comes apart. That, blam. Fucking each little piece have a little pelican case for it. And I can just roll out. Not that I literally go anywhere ever, but if I ever needed to, I can just roll up on the spot full on dab rig. So I'm extremely pleased with this. And this is the Build-A-Bong. So I can keep adding pieces to this too. I can get this fucking thing huge if I wanted to for whatever reason. Could add at least one more on there. Oh, Kitty, you want to come say hi to everybody? I think there's a panda who would like to say hello. You want to say hello? Come here. Why don't you be a cat over here? Whew. All right. So I wanted to do that before we spun the wheel of dabs today because it's fun. But I'm excited. Spin the wheel of dabs as well. Roll a joint, load a bowl, do something. But yeah, it's been good. I've been trying to keep things together, keep it sane, not freak out. There's catnip all over this table. That's how we do it. Times get crazy, but that's why I don't know. Sometimes I find myself in a bad mood even when I'm stoned, and I'd hate to see what I'd be in if I wasn't. I'm like, God damn, I'm stoned right now, and I'm still so fucking done with everything. It's rough. But yeah, I'm hoping to spend more time in the garden, being outside. I'm ready for the summer. I think a lot of people are going to start taking their company and their friends and their family, stop taking it for granted so much that it's just going to be there forever. You know what I mean? Social activities, I hope that there's a newfound appreciation for live entertainment again, because, as someone who's always wanted to kind of base their life off of live entertainment, I think it's this time away from it hopefully has given everyone really time to fucking focus on the fact of how important it is to us as a social creature. Let's get you over here. We need a panda in our life. We need pandas. Panda, why don't you say hi to everybody? All right. Well, there's a panda right here. She's here. All right, Hooked on Phonics. Hey there, I'm just painting away. Good for you. Ziggy's like, I'll come over here. The panda's a little shy, but Ziggy's a good boy. He always comes when he's called. So, all right. Well, good. Painting's another awesome activity. Staying busy has been the key to everything. Right, buddy? Right? I feel like we're all such consumers now, and we're such critics and critiques of everything. We sometimes forget to produce more things ourselves, and it's so easy to just turn on a button and look at all these projects that people do and all these things, and which is great as inspiration. Spotify's amazing because it has 50 billion songs on it, but it's also a rabbit hole that you can kind of get lost into. And it's great if you use it as inspiration and as thought, and it's just hard. There's a fine line between entertainment and I don't know, like an anesthetic almost. You know what I mean? Where you're nulling out everything with what you are consuming in your body. Howdy, says Nick. Nick, car auctions are my rabbit hole. Yeah, I really honestly thought about going to the car auctions when I got my car, because I only had a few $1,000s and I needed a car. And I've heard good things about those auctions. I just had no one who had ever done it who was willing to go with me, and I was in a rush, so I would have been forced to buy something at some point, and I didn't want to do it. So there's a bunch of little shit like that kept me from doing it, but always wanted to do that. I'd end up buying a car with bullet holes and shit in it, and be like, yeah, but it's really kind of cool. Fucking, all right, Ziggy. For such a small, light cat, you always find a way to put my fucking Lance to sleep. Nick, I look at Crash Damage Exotics a lot. No shit. See, I've just, I don't know, considered options. Jesus, is there specific potting soil I can get to start up a few seeds? I wanted to try indoor growing. So the first thing, if you're doing seeds, I would start with rapid rooters, or that's probably your cheapest, best way. Now, pot seeds, you can do rapid rooter too, which is just a cocoa core, or you could get cocoa core or rock wool and just start your seeds in that. get yourself. I have this little thing right here. I should show you. Then I got a cat on me and couldn't do that. But I have a whole bunch of seeds started there. And these aren't pot seeds, but it's the exact same thing I use for pot seeds. Pot seeds, I always do rock wool because I put them in hydro, and that's just been the way I've always done it. But these seedlings, I haven't done it. I'm still very new to gardening, but I did a 50-50 mix of my own potting soil. And when I started the seeds, I just used a mix of coco coir and vermiculite and perlite. You don't need any nutrients because the seed itself contains all the nutrients that the sprout is going to need until it reaches this, breaks soil. Then once it's a little sprout, you have a little seedling going, then you need to introduce some type of nutrient in your dirt. And then, it matters what type you're starting. If you're going for pot, I usually go with a soup. You should always go super organic anyway. Like I said, I've always had good luck with Big Roots, is what it's called. It has like a camouflage bag. Garden King is another one. I like going for cannabis stuff and just ones that I've heard mentioned on things I know. But this time I went with all my own stuff. I made it today. Today is the day I officially made all of it and realized I'm probably going to build 2 more 6x3 or 6x2 raised garden beds and fill that up with some of my own potting soil too. Jesus, where can I find it? Check if you have a grow store near you. That's where I usually go. There's quite a few by me in Denver. The Grow Depot or the Hydro Store, or there's a couple other ones that I can think of. But grow store would be good, or online you can have it shipped to you. It's just dirt. There's nothing wrong with having dirt shipped to you no matter where you're at. But Soil King and Big Roots, those are the 2 that I've had experience with that were good for me. And they work. I'm sure you could grow any vegetables and shit in there. I've just grown pot with those ones before. And it was, if there was anything wrong with that grow, it had nothing to do with the soil that I know. Nick, there was this one Rolls Royce that had bullet holes and huge dents on the front. Must have been a Coke dealer's car. See, that's what I'm saying about those auctions. I know I'd end up being like, oh, this is a really cool car. And being like, yeah, there's the inside's just like, or ripped out. It's like, yeah, someone probably was definitely died in this car. You know what I mean? But, oh well. Okay, so I'm not getting up, so I guess we're just going to be stuck here, Ziggy, and we'll roll up right here. I didn't know what I was going to do, but the cat's going to force us into working with what we got. Yeah. I forget what this stuff is. It looks really good. Like when you look at it up close, it's all tiny nugs, but they're all crystally, and it's really green and really red. Contrast of the colors is nice. It smells pretty decent. Lately, I've been basing a lot of how and what I like to smoke on how harsh it is. If it's really harsh and hurts my throat, it's just a little, and that's me and my girlfriend at the moment. It's like, yeah, if it's super harsh to smoke, it kind of, I mean, it's great if it gets you stoned, but I'd rather not cough and have it burn constantly. There's something that you said about really smooth smoke. And that's what I've noticed about really, sometimes when you get good homegrown, organic outdoor, it's just really smooth. I can roll it in a big joint or a big blunt and hit it really hard, or a big bong bowl, and it just doesn't hurt my throat. And that is, right now, with all the pot I'm smoking that's kind of harsh, that's a big deal. Same with dabs. Nick, probably tens of thousands of dollars in damage on the car on that shot up one. And it's shit. But it's a Rolls Royce. I wonder, I'm sure if you can hunt at auctions, you can get good deals too. Hey Zeus, we can grow up to 6 plants in New York City. That's cool. Would have to find a local growing shop for the soil you mentioned. Appreciate it. Billy Bong, howdy. He's one to ask what soil he uses. I know he's a soil grower. Right, Billy Bong? I just made up my soil today, and but it's for garden and for the vegetable. But I would have used the same soil if I was growing plants too. So, um, but big roots and God damn it, Garden King. Those are the two I've gone with. But Nick, yeah, I've strayed away from the pot that hits harsh. Yeah, see, I used to be like the harder hurts it and gets you high. Sometimes, and that's true. I'm not saying it's not. Sometimes harsh pot does get you blazed. This stuff is really crystally. It just hurts your fucking throat a little bit. And that's how I've been judging a lot of my pot, unfortunately, at this point. All right. So, Nick, yeah, Billy Bong, howdy, ho, neighbor, neighborino. Mickey D, good to see you. Mickey D, way to be. Uh, Billy Bong, cocoa is the best. It's more forgiving. Regular soil is easy to overwater. Uh, Jesus, howdy. Billy Bong says howdy. Oh, wait. Jesus says howdy to Billy Bong. Billy Bong says howdy to Jesus. um, so I went Cocoa Core. That's what I went with, too. Usually it's Cocoa Core or peat moss. I went with Cocoa Core. Again, like I said, I use it. I went with Cocoa Core and vermiculite as opposed to peat moss and perlite, which is more common because peat moss is cheaper than Cocoa Core. And then perlite is just usually a better, it doesn't hold water. It usually only drains. So it's good to have a mix usually. But vermiculite and Cocoa Core I use for growing mushrooms. They're really important for mushroom growth. So you can use peat moss too. And perlite's used in mushroom growing if you're making it for your terrarium. So all these things have their common uses between growing stuff outside. They're all growing, and you can find it all at the gardening store, which is cool. But anyway, so I went with the stuff that I'm already using it for other projects. So Cocoa Core, vermiculite, a little bit of perlite, worm castings. I had some cow compost, cow poop, so I used it because I just wanted to get rid of it, and I already had it. But yeah, Billy Bong, Cocoa Core has so many more benefits, bigger roots, and can flush when you mess up. And that's a big thing too. Is it? Yeah, I love how like it drains well, and it has a great feel, and it doesn't have a weird smell. I use it to grow mushrooms off of, making mushroom bricks, and yeah, so I'm all about Cocoa Core, and I just think it's cool. I just think it's neat. All right, Nick, we have a compost heap that we throw organic food heap that we throw organic food waste in. So I can't do that where I live, but that is something I am going to do, is do my own composting. That's definitely something I'm looking into for the future. Kind of like collecting like rainwater or something like that. It's like I'm not going to do it here right now, but eventually collecting rainwater, composting, growing all my own fruits and vegetables. I don't know what you call that, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get into that shit as much as possible. Hey, Zeus, great info. Thank you. Yeah, Cocoa Core, especially like I said, so right now I have, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4, 8, 10. So I think I have 60 little seedlings going of just random peppers and cucumbers and squash and melons and pumpkin, which is, I guess, a melon. But yeah, so all these things. And for most of them, I just went with a slight mix of, God damn it, Cocoa Core and vermiculite. And then just packed them in those little seedling kits and let them do their thing. Transfer them over. I'm excited for this year of starting a whole bunch of vegetables and plants and yada yada. I like I said, I was really thinking of getting the greenhouse for outside. But the more I'm thinking about it, the less I think I need it. It's fine without it. I don't know what I'm really needing it for. Maybe when it starts snowing towards the end of the year, if I have really late seasoned vegetables and shit like that. I need to work on my timing better. I kind of just noticed that pretty much all the vegetables that I went with and fruits uh, said you can start them right at spring, right after your last frost. So even though it's supposed to snow again, in Denver next week, so I might have jumped the gun a bit. But so I just started them all at the same time, and hopefully they all work. Billy Bong, you can use cocoa core too. Just flush it. You can reuse cocoa too. Just flush it out really good when you're done growing and reuse. Probably gonna head out early since I have to move some heavy stuff tomorrow. I'll stay for a dab though. Yeah. I'll take a dab. I have this other dab rig. I finally said fuck it and used the last of this fucking rubbing alcohol that was in that Morty, the mascot for the show, other than Mr. Ziggy, who's more like a executive producer. Um, but I finally cleaned up some shit and cleaned this up to be able to use it. I cleaned up the shark real nice, so the shark looks pretty good. I'm cleaning up, but I also cleaned up this one I have that was like stuck shut. So we'll do a dab out of that next instead of spinning the wheel dabs. So I need some water. So everyone say how much you love Mr. Ziggy. Oh, and I'll give him some treats, but we gotta go, Mr. Zig. My leg's falling asleep, and I gotta get some water, and I gotta grab that dab rig. And you being on my lap is just. You want to go say hi to everybody? There you go. There's a Ziggy. There's a good kitty. He likes it. He likes it. We love you, Ziggs. See? Everyone loves you, Ziggy. But before you get back on my lap, there we go. I'm going to grab some water and we'll do a dab. Should grab some tea too. Bye, my Ziggy. There you go, Zig. He's sitting right here. So he's with us. He's just slightly out of screen. All right. Be right back. Start some tea too. That's better. Oh. All right. There we go. So, it was a good day. I am glad I at least caught it. That joint's just begging to be smoked. But yeah, I'm hoping. I've never really grown any plants, so there we go. It's something I'm more interested in doing, and now I'm venturing into. Uh, like I said, even all the pot I've grown has always been hydro. So using the sun, watching out for it outside, these are all relatively new things for me to do. Was there on tea? Was there on tea? What? Ah, Wasser in uns tea. In German, Wasser? I didn't know. The Wasser. Ah, need that. Tea will need a minute. We'll put that to the side. Some Earl Grey, as always. Hot. Nick, a lot of times W is pronounced with a V. Vater. Vaser. Yeah, that sounds right. Wunderchild. I know that Ziggy is a Wundercat. All right. Woo. See that pot? Like, it tastes good. It smells decent. It definitely has like a shitload of crystals on it. Volkswagen. It just it's just harsh. Damn. All right, so I kind of cleaned this one out too. Enough to work, I think. Let's see here. The light's a little crazy on there. Let's see. A little propeller one. There we go. I like the pre-roll joints I get that have the rosin in the joint and the keef on the outside. Yeah, that's good. Kinda. Sometimes the keef on the outside, it seems to like how to make it. I like my stuff on the inside. I've learned. So I've been looking at these. I really like the company called, or it's decent. The company Green Treats. Uh, the first thing I got there is with some shatter. And first off, they're just reasonably priced. They're not super expensive by any means. I think I paid maybe $20 for this gram of shatter for just 1 gram, and it was just really good. It was like some fucking really awesome like candy or something. It was just super tasty. Yeah, Green Treat was a good name for it. And then they sell these joints that are infused with hash oil and shit like that. So they're pretty good. Okay, Zig. Let's do this. Let's do this, Jiggy. We're going to take a dab for Nick because he's going to go to bed soon. I'm actually having a really early night, too. I have to do a whole bunch more plant stuff, like all my gardening, my pot plants have to be done tonight. I should have done them not only last night, but a week ago from last night. It's okay sometimes to let them go a little bit longer than a week, 2 weeks without doing a full flush, but I usually do it every single week. And then, so I didn't do that, and then I didn't do it last night, so I have to do it tonight. It's already 8:30, so got another hour, I'd say, at least in it. So I'll be here for a while, but it will be an early night tonight. A lot more work to be done. And then the nice thing is I'm growing mushrooms outside in straw and wood chips, and they just need to stay really moist, real moist. And rather than put a sprinkler on them all the time, is I've been dumping my nutrients water, the dump water from all my growing on hydro on the inside, and I can just dump it right into the outside mushroom beds, and it's perfect. It's kind of crazy. So shit's been going potentially really well. In my head, I have everything set up to feed off of one another, be real commingled. So, all right, we are going to do the old propeller dabs. Propeller dabs. Propeller dabs. Cool. All right. Like that, Mr. Ziggs? Do you care? Do you even care? All right. But hopefully everything's been going good. Like I said, I've been really trying to keep level-headed and remember that everything's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be all right. Everything's temporary. Just relax. So here we are. I don't know. I feel like it's so easy to get worked up about anything and everything now. Everybody's on edge, and that feeds into every into everyone else being on edge. You know what I mean? So just trying to be extra chill lately. Enjoy things for what they are while they are. You know what I mean? I think this last year has really exposed just how easily everything can be just thrown to shit. You know what I mean? It's not hard for everything we know and everything we care about in our entire way of life, and to just be thrown into shit from absolutely little to no effort on nature's part, and shit like that. So it just, I don't know. Makes me really just appreciate the way things are right now. I'm able to chat with you guys and hang out and have the kitty be here. And it's just good times. And if you don't appreciate the good times while they're here, then all you'll do is miss them when they're gone, because I rather appreciate them while they're here is the whole thing than anything else. Because we as creatures tend to really be one of those, we don't miss things until they're gone. We don't appreciate things until they're on it. They're gone. Yeah. So, all right. Nick also took the AMG out for an Italian tune-up. Bibbidi bobbidi. Well, here's to you, Nick, and to everybody else for joining me. Thank you so much. Cheers. Whoa! Whoa. Nick, aka drove it real fast to clear things up. That's why I had a feeling with a name like that. That's what you're meaning? Oh, Ziggy. Ah. Oh Oh no! Nick, Charlie killed a water snake while we were swimming. He was just trying to protect you. He does things like that sometimes. He's a dag. He's a dag. He's a dag. Woo-hoo! Ziggy, sure he would kill things. He never has the chance to go outside. He used to. Whoa! Dog. Zig doggy. Dog. The dog. Oh, man. Hitting hard tonight. Oh! All right. Woo! Oh, get you talking in tongues. Hey, Zeus, I just checked. There's a grow room store out in Queens. It's a bit of a drive, though. Keep in mind, like I said, you can order all that stuff on like Amazon and shit like that. I don't really like Amazon, but there's a reason it's the biggest store of all time, because it's the easiest and most accessible, and you can get everything anywhere. And since you just even if you're growing it for pot plants, that doesn't mean you can't, they can't confirm that. Shit, you could buy fucking bongs, but you just have to call them water pipes, because for some reason the word bong is associated with smoking weed. I know when I was younger, my mom was buying a bong for somebody, and there's a sign. It's like water pipes. There's they're always there now at the head shops that say if you go to a state where it's not legal. They don't have them anymore in Colorado, but if you're in a state where it's not legal, all the head shops, they say these are water pipes for tobacco use only. But yeah, so you gotta go. Sorry. Whew. He's like 100 degrees. He puts your leg to sleep. Love that guy, but man. Anyway, so there's a sign that would always say water pipes only, and anyway, my mom goes in there and she's like, "Yeah, I want to buy that bong over there," and they're like, "You mean that water pipe?" She's like, "No, the bong over there." And they're like, "That's a water pipe. They tried to tell her, and she's like, "Look, I've been smoking weed since the 60s. I know what a bong is. I want that bong." And I mean, at some point, I think they just, tried to stop talking and just handed her the bong. But it's funny. Jesus, you usually like getting stuff at hand. Guess I'll take the drive. I do too, but I'm not big on going out into public. Oh, look at a puppy! Is there a puppy here? Look at that puppy. Puppies. How many puppies is there? Anyway, so yeah, but anyway, Nick, see you around. You will. I want to say hi to everybody. Come here. Pop up. You're so close. You're so close. All right. Well, Nick, you have a great night, and best of luck to you and your whatever you're up to. You're dreaming. Why don't you hop up and tell everybody hello? There's a good puppy. You're a good puppy. At least you said hello for a second. All right. So, good dog. Everyone, say goodnight to Nick. Uh, Good luck on moving shit in the morning. I'm glad I don't have to, especially after today, mixing up soil for a while. I finally learned that I don't know. I'll see how it all worked out. I made a shit ton of soil. I could have made a shit ton more. I have a shit ton of pots and a shit ton of seedlings. I'm just hoping that shit starts working out. Because this shit is shitty. Shit, 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 shit. But yeah, otherwise, things have been going okay. I decided to put up some security cameras and motion detector lights around my house because my car got broken into like twice in 1 month and shit like that. Uh, put up the mushrooms outside, started the grows, started up my mushroom tent in here again. About to start some mushroom grows on that front as well. The fun mushrooms. Even oyster mushrooms indoors are really fun because it's quick. Growing mushrooms outside, I just planted them a couple weeks ago, and they won't be ready until September. So it's months long, but they're huge. They're these crazy big mushrooms. So hopefully, God, if there's one thing I'm hoping, it's that my outdoor mushrooms do good. I've decided to put all my money into growing. Whether that's growing pot, which I had most of that stuff already, but my time and effort has gone into that. I don't know. Hopefully, that's all going to start paying off here pretty soon too. I have a lot of different things I've been considering getting into. I would like to start a business of some type. Would be really great if I had a way to do shit for myself and work in, something like that, or maybe just I don't know. It'd be great to find work in the industry, the pot industry, or the music industry, or an industry I support and care about would be really cool. There's a lot of different things on my mind. Getting out, like I said, to the mountains has been hugely on my mind for a long time. So more into that, growing all my plants and vegetables. It's been good. But yeah, like I said, I've been just investing what money I have into seeds, uh, pots, soil, fucking. I wasn't gonna grow a greenhouse, but then straw and wood chips and fucking like all the time and work invested into it for mushrooms and this and that. I don't know. Hoping the best. I got a dehydrator and I want to get a outdoor like big lock fridge. You know what I mean? A freezer chest and just start stocking up on shit. Oh yeah, getting the puppy. I don't know. I'm hoping for the best. Um, Hoping for the best in the regards that I don't know what to think about the. I don't know how I feel about the state of the world, and it's thrown in my face every day with how much Colorado gets built up. Colorado is a beautiful place, and every day we cut down more trees and destroy more fields and fill it up with more grocery stores and houses and pavement and it just gets grosser and grosser. It's already vastly far from something I would want to live in. It's like in Star Wars, what was it, Coruscant, where the whole planet is just one city. You know what I mean? There's no real city, and then it's just levels of the city. The bottom's really poor and broke, and then you get nicer and nicer. And when you're in the skyscrapers, of course, it's beautiful, but you're living in the clouds, and then you know what I mean. It's not what I. It's not ideal. We don't live in a utopian society like that, and it's just becoming more and more abundantly clear here. And I'm sure when I move to the mountains or wherever I can afford to or find a place to, it'll eventually happen there too. And I'll be like, oh man, we, my moving there will be a part of it. So it's a little weird, but I would like to live a very green lifestyle in that sense as much as I can. Like I said, grow my own stuff and not have to leave home quite so much. I think finding a way to have most of the things I care about close to me at all times is important. You know what I mean? The puppy and the cats and shit like that. At the end of the day, I can already tell you that at the end of my life, the big things I care would be, there's a bunch of things I wish would have happened. Like, oh, I wish I would have made, more music and it would have been super popular and bands and toured and had all these crazy experiences. That would have been great. At the end of the day, the things I know for a fact that I will think about on a deathbed and shit like that is like, I really, and maybe not even my deathbed, but on other people, like the people you care about when they die, my biggest thoughts are always, I just wish I would spend more time with them. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, Like I would spend all my time with my cats and my family and everyone I care about, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people play hooky and don't go to work and shit and feel really guilty. It's like I think it's justified if you spent that time not just doing stuff that helps yourself mentally and physically, which that's great and you should take time and do that, but spend it with the people you care about and the people who matter to you, you know what I mean? And that comes back to what I was saying earlier, where we're just so fucking social. Billy Bong, you guys get any more morels yet? I got about a pound today in my backyard. Not quite mushroom season yet. No, I wish I would tell someone that. We were supposed to go this weekend, but it's been rough. I've been making all my own soil and working at stuff at home. We thought about going. It's been really nice and sunny, and it just rained the other day. It would have been perfect. I don't know shit about shit as far as where to go and stuff. I just go out into towards the mountains and just start looking around. Nowhere near where I live, like in my backyard or anything like that, can I find any mushrooms. Uh, but a pound of morels in your backyard is very awesome. Yeah, I wish I knew where you were, and I just go and be like, oh, I found some morel. No, just I'm a very the day I find one, you'll know about it because I'll be flipped out for a very long time. Very very excited. Um, there's something just every time I find a mushroom, even if it's not edible, I'm very happy. It makes That's why I like bringing my camera along too sometimes because I'm really into taking pictures of mushrooms and I have a nice camera. Uh, it's just fun to do. So, but to be honest, I don't think morels grow in Colorado. At least not that I know of. So I do know that some do. Billy Bong. Oh, that's nothing. We get like 15 pounds a year. They're really expensive too. Morels. You could sell them to like a local restaurant, but if where you're at there's that many, maybe they have a bunch of people already doing that. I know that they grow outside well. I found a pre inoculated kit, kind of like how I started my wine cap mushrooms outside of morels. But from what I've heard, you're supposed to put them in a certain type of area. They grow well in between certain trees, and yeah, I don't know. I should try it. Billy Bong, I think it's like $40 to $50 a pound, which is hey man, that alone, shit, that's money. So yeah, I know I'm excited to be going mushroom hunting and walking out. We live close enough to a place that's really beautiful that I'm excited for it. There's a lot of things I need to do. I would like to go to the mountains and start looking for different places to possibly move in the future. I'd like to go mushroom hunting. All of these can involve walking the dog and going on hikes and hanging out outside and taking pictures. I need to really focus on bringing my camera places with me and taking nice photos and uploading them or just having them for myself. I like doing it. Billy Bong, what kind of mushrooms are you looking for? Um, Boletes, chanterelles, amanitas, some morels. Uh, I don't know about finding psychedelic mushrooms anywhere. I don't trust them just because, from what I've heard from I've watched a lot of mushroom foraging videos and shit like that. Psychedelic mushrooms are usually, unless they're growing on, I don't know, even then, even if they're growing in a fucking cow turd, I'd still be very wary. I have a very sensitive stomach to mushrooms anyway. Billy Bong, never heard of those. So those are mostly, and there's more. There's, but I'm stoned. But for the most part, that's most of them. But yeah, so little psychedelic mushrooms are usually small and brown, and from what I've heard, there's so many small brown mushrooms that are poisonous, or it's just too hard to distinguish one from the other without taking a spore print. So you got to cut off the cap, let it take a spore print on a white piece of paper, see what color it is, then examine what it is and what it looked like. And it's kind of hard to identify some mushrooms. Some are so normal that are, you know what I mean, so awkward, not normal, so abnormal that or unique that you could just be like, that's clearly what this is. And those are what I go for mostly. I also very new to mushroom foraging. Growing mushrooms is cool because you know what it is. It's kind of like growing pot that's feminized. I like doing it. I haven't had the best results yet, but I'm trying a new strain and a new batch. That's another thing. So I don't know. I didn't get great results from my last pot plant, and it was a little harsh. Um, but there's so many new elements. I've never grown with the LED lights I've used. I've never grown from feminized seeds, which I have heard are interesting. You know what I mean? I've heard people talk against them, and I never get an exact reason why, but there's that. I went from a seed company I've never gone before. I went from a strain I've never gone before. So, I mean, with all those up in the air, it's going to take a minute to narrow down what it is that I'm not liking or what I am liking. You know what I mean? There's some things. So I'm getting a new batch of pot. This was green crack that I was growing. Next one I'm growing is going to be Northern Lights, also a feminized seed, so that will still be in the mix. Also still has the LED lights, so that's going to be in the mix. Also from the same company, so that's going to be in the mix. So I should have went a totally different company. I should have went some different things there, but it is what it is. Billy Bong. So do magic mushrooms really grow under cow poop? They do, and that's what I was gonna say. Is the ones that grow under cow shit, they're coprophytic, God, coprophytic. They grow on cow dung. Um, uh, those are the easiest to identify because they usually are really apparent. You know what I mean? And also sometimes the Liberty Cap ones where they really pointy are. But those are both of those for me. Unless I was with someone who really knew their shit, I'd still be very wary. The biggest key is most of them bruise blue. So I mean, there's some things if they're growing on a piece of cow dung, someone who's has some experience with them. Let them fuck up before you learn it. They bruise blue, and try very small amounts at first, shit like that. Maybe I would do it and look for it. I've known people who But I'm hoping they knew their shit, but they would always get fucking psychedelic mushrooms from cow shit, so it can be done. Nicholas, hey man, your videos are dope. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't get too much hate about my videos, but a lot of the comments I get are more questions, or are people kind of bickering between each other. I just let that shit go on and kind of stay out of it. But it's always good to get some appreciation. I appreciate it. Billy Bong, wonder if you can get parasites from growing in poop. Yeah, which I've never really heard anybody having a problem with it. I think honestly is, there's parasites in everything. It's just a matter of if they're harmful or not. Because you could probably eat. I think I've seen videos of people. There is that video of that one guy eating horse poop. It's probably fine. You eat the animal, right? But no, it's probably. But you're right. I imagine you have to rinse it off really good. I know when you buy mushrooms from stores and stuff like that, you should always really wash them well, because they usually are growing them off of some type of manure. So there is shit literally on it. So wash them well. I choose not. So the reason I'm using cow manure today in the soil I was using as a filler, a mix-in, a nutrient, compost based thing in the soil. I wouldn't go out of my way to put that in there. But originally I got that because the first things I was looking at on growing mushrooms used compost, cow manure. And then I started realizing there's other ways not to use cow manure. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Even if cow manure produces better, I just kind of chose to stay away from poop if I can. I have a small house, and I don't want to start making poop tea and all this stuff, because that's kind of what you do when you make mushrooms from cow poop. You have to like pasteurize it, so you got to boil it, and you boil it in a giant pillow sack and then wring it out. It's poop water, and I'm just like, yeah, if I can avoid all that, I'm going to avoid all that and just grow from cocoa coir and vermiculite and rice flour and shit like that. Just seems like it's worth the trade-off for me. So that's what I've done now. I really need to get back into growing mushrooms. It's just there's a lot to it. It's really hard staying sane as it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm holding it together. Things aren't going terrible, but it seems like behind every corner is another catastrophe just looming, you know what I mean? And even if it's not, it weighs heavily on my mind, and I'm like, I need to be prepared, and I need to save up some money, because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next, because it seems like that's all that's been happening is one crazy thing after another. And I'm hoping that doesn't perpetuate them to actually happen, if you like think about them too much, that you kind of create them. So I'm trying to stay, that's what I was saying earlier, where I'm trying to stay super positive and super relaxed, realize that everything's going pretty good right now, and appreciate it for what it is, because it could change at any moment. So I'm just really hoping for the best, preparing for the worst, and appreciating everything for what it is right now. Billy Bong, yeah, you had some cool ass mushrooms a few months back. Did you ever try them? So I was microdosing them personally. I was taking just a little, what was it, a quarter of a gram every other day. Is there a puppy? So I was taking a quarter of a gram every other day, and then I believe it was Halloween. I took a quarter of a gram. I did a long ass show. There's a puppy here. There's a puppy. I did a long ass show. I'm gonna start microdosing again. So, but anyway, I was doing it. There you are. There's the puppy. There's the puppy. Who's the puppy? Who's the best puppy ever? Who's the best puppy? Uh, so a quarter of a gram is like nothing. There's a good girl. Who's the best girl? Oh yeah. There's a puppy. All right. So, Billy Bong, what were your effects on the microdose? And it's a dog. Yeah, everything's got a pause for the best dog in the whole wide world. The best. She's the best. So, microdosing. I was taking a quarter of a gram every other day. Normally, I recommend people taking 3.5 grams as an average trip. You know what I mean? If you're not tripping, especially on the mushrooms I grew, on 3.5 grams, you'd either have a super high tolerance or you're a big ass motherfucker. If you're like, 350, 6'8", have a really high metabolism and you're just a huge dude, you might need some more than that. That's just how it is. But an average, person, empty stomach, fucking 3.5 grams will do you. So I don't know what the math is, but I took a quarter of a gram, and I did it for maybe what would that be? At least a month or two, I would say. Maybe that's at least a month, and I didn't have much effects. You know what I mean? I didn't feel too much, good or bad, one way or the other. My sometimes my stomach would get a little bit off, and then I'd be okay. I mostly wouldn't think about it until right before I went to bed. So I'd take them that little tiny bit, and then just go to bed within like half hour. You know what I mean? So I would just go to sleep. Halloween, this last Halloween, I that's when I stopped too. So that's how long it's been since I've had any. I did a really long show on here. I got super blazed. I don't know why, but I don't think I slept well the previous night. So I'm going on very little sleep. I didn't eat enough that day. I didn't drink enough that day. I got super fucking stoned that day, to the point where right after I got off of this show, I remember being like, I'm on the verge of having and being anxious, on the verge of it, where it was like, I'm okay, but I'm almost anxious. You know what I mean? But it kind of went away, and I was excited for Halloween. And I wanted to watch horror movies and shit like that. And I did such a long video, stream that night that I lost track of time. And I just wanted to. So right when it was over, I'm like, fuck it, get it over with. Let's start watching some movies. And I wanted to roll a joint, and we ate some. I think I might have eaten some food, and I did my microdose. I'm watching a movie, and at some point, I'm tripping balls. And I ended up tripping. And so it's late too. And I work on Sunday morning, so I had to go to work the next day, which I think I called in for some reason because I wasn't good. I ended up tripping for 3-4 hours. So it's fucking, it was already 9 or 10. I wanted to go to bed by 11, but by 11 I'm tripping. So it's 12, 1, 2. I have to get up in just a few hours, and I'm not okay. I'm not ready for it. So I'm tripping balls, which is weird. I don't know. I think I might be sensitive to mushrooms to begin with. I know I'm a little sensitive to mushrooms, apparently. I think the mushrooms I had were a little strong, but still, it was weird. It can happen, I guess, technically. I'm living proof, I'll tell you that. So I haven't done some since. I think it takes a while to really, so that's kind of a weird experience. It was a Halloween, so I'm watching horror movies. Fortunately, I'm watching a horror comedy. Deathgasm's the name of the movie. I love the movie. But at some point, right at the end of the movie, where shit's getting kind of crazy or whatever, shit was getting crazy for me anyway. And yeah, Billy Vaughn, what did you see? Like colors and stuff. So there's a couple of things, and this happens every time I trip. So we're watching horror movies. My panic attack, which happened before I took mushrooms, I was kind of anxious. Like I said, I got a little bit. I was too stoned and not enough food, not enough sleep, and there was something else that was wrong too. Like I can't remember. There was another factor in all this, but not enough food and not enough sleep for sure. Way too stoned for sure. And then I'm watching horror movies, and there's this feeling that happens every time I do mushrooms, especially. But I'm pretty sure acid's kind of like that too, but not necessarily. But mushrooms anyway. And I imagine most hallucinogenics, just when you start tripping, it feels like all the air has been sucked out of the room and becomes like a vacuum. And I'm like, so it's like, so you can maybe hear things a little bit, maybe not clearly, but different. Everything sounds a little bit different. It gets a little bit cool. Like I get a cool feeling, like kind of cold, a little anxiety. Everything gets different. Size and proportions of things start changing. Distances distances start changing from how I you know what I mean. Things start. It's a perception thing at first, but at the first notice I have is like, wow, it's like your ears want to pop, but that's not it. But you know that change of pressure and altitude, where you're like, okay, something's a little different, and it's not easily explained. Like if I changed the atmosphere in the room you're in right now, but you couldn't tell how I did it. There's no machines, there's no movement that you feel. You know, you're in a static room, but I just did that. You'd be like, you'd feel different, but it'd take a second to. That's the first weird feeling I get. And I'm like, huh. And I didn't think too much of it. And I thought my stomach was a little off. And I'm like, ugh, maybe my stomach's just a little off and I'm still anxious. That's the combination. It's got to be. Then I'm watching the movie I'm watching. There's like an electrical effect going on, you know, like when somebody's getting electrocuted or like there's sparks flying off of amps and stuff, but it's clearly CGI, fake, you know what I mean? Like that blue thing that streams through people or streams through stuff going on. And so that's going on in the movie. And at some point I realized that it's starting to like come out of the TV a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's like flashing and then like it's filling up the room. The air's pressure is getting a little bit weird. And it feels like I'm stoned beyond stone, like really high, which I was already. I took another dab and rolled up huge joints and shit, which usually are a good thing, except for I wasn't expecting any of this. Because I had totally forgot I took mushrooms. It was just that little microdose. You just take that little thing, it's nothing, it doesn't get you high. So I forgot about it. I thought my stomach hurt, thought all this was going on. It wasn't until my girlfriend's like, is your stomach okay from the mushrooms you took? And I'm like, oh shit, I know exactly what the fuck this is. I'm tripping balls. And as soon as I realized, she told me that I remembered that, I'm like, fuck, I did take mushrooms tonight, didn't I? And I'm like, I'm not stoned. I'm like, I thought everything was fucking getting intense. And as soon as I cognitively realized what was going on, Billy Bong, Jason coming through the stream. Fortunately, it was a comedy. It was a horror comedy, so there was bodies and stuff like that. But fortunately, none of that was getting to me. I loved the movie; it was funny, and it was like just sparks and shit coming out of the TV. So I'm like the electrical sparks. At the end of the movie, there's a lot of that shit going on, and I had to turn it off with like 20 minutes left in the movie or less, you know, like the end of the movie, maybe like the last 10, 15, somewhere in there. So really weird that I made it through the whole movie, but then I started tripping. And then like she's like, yeah, you know, are those mushrooms in your stomach bag? Because she knows that those make my stomach feel fucked up sometimes. And I'm like, fuck. So I start tripping nuts, and yeah, hooked on fonts. I think I'm super sensitive too. The last time I did them, my partner was tripping too, but was fine, and I was completely trashed. I'm really sensitive to edibles like that too. I get really, really high. Also, the size thing. If you're not a big person, like I said earlier, 3.5 grams is my recommended dose for most people. But if you're really, really big, you know, just naturally, you're just a big man. If I was giving mushrooms to Andre the Giant, I'd say you need like, I don't know, 20 grams, dude. 20 fucking grams. Because you're a fucking, that man would drink like fucking like 20 beers in a sitting because the beers were, and he's a, you know, bad example, but that's what I'm saying. You have to always exaggerate in philosophy. Otherwise, why would anyone pay attention? But the whole point big is that size is a big thing too. Hooked on Fox, that's true. We did the same amount, and he's a big guy, and I'm pretty small. So, like I said, size is always a factor. Fucking no matter, even if you don't want it to be. And we live in such a PC world where we're always like, everyone's the same no matter what, and it's like, I mean, I get it. We should all have the same rights as people, but physically, we're not all the fucking same. Just happens. I am not 6'2". I'm not even 6 fucking 1. I'm not even 6 even. I'm not 5'12". No, I'm just joking. I'm not 5'11". And yeah, see, I'm pretty short. But I'm just not dunking anytime soon, unfortunately. Although people who are my height can dunk, so I don't know. I just can't jump. But anyway, I definitely feel like I might be a little sensitive. And there's a lot of factors. See, I think you should have some food in you if you don't want to trip. If you're doing microdosing and you don't want to trip on a random day, have food in you. Do it like 10, like the moment before you go to sleep. And that's what I did for like a month. So even if I thought to myself, if I had been like tripping slightly every single time I did that little bit, which I know I wasn't, but if I had been, I slept through 90% of the time that I would have been tripping because I would take it right before bed. So it seemed fine for me. I did feel like I had some pretty intense dreams at that point, but I couldn't remember them. All right. So 9:14, and we're doing fine. But I'm trying to make it a quick night tonight. So, Billy Bong, how was the rest of your night? Did you sleep well or have weird dreams while tripping? So that fucking Halloween, the worst part about it was I kept on thinking, fuck it, I'm supposed to be going to sleep to go to work tomorrow. And at some point, I think me and my girlfriend, it really helped. My girlfriend was there being very, very nice and very considerate and, you know, are you okay type shit. Billy Bong, never mind, I already answered. So the weird dreams things, I had some weird dreams. I always did. Well, that whole month leading to it, or maybe even almost 2 months that I was taking it every other night or every 3 nights. I can't remember. It might be every 3 nights. I I think I was having pretty like intense dreams or just really deep dreams. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but everything was okay. And then that night that I took him on Halloween, right after the movie, I had to turn the movie off because the movie was too intense. And I'm like, let's put on some TV. And whatever we were watching on TV was fucking with me too. So I'm like, I don't even know what to do. So I was just sitting on the floor, trying to pet the cat, trying to chill out. And I started realizing this is what happens to me, and it always makes me think of Alice in Wonderland because I think there's some definite cues taken from doing hallucinogenics in that fucking book and movie, if you haven't noticed. But the size things, where things get really big and you shrink or you get big. And like, so I'm sitting on my floor in front of one of my grow tents. And there's only like as much room as this table from me, so like a foot and a half, and it feels like I'm in this huge room. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't possibly reach all the way over there, and this thing has now risen to be like 2 stories tall, and just things are looking really big. It's because I'm on the floor, and I'm probably hovered like super low just looking up at it. So my perspective is a little weird anyway, but just everything gets thrown off. So my perception's just really out there. And this is off of a quarter of a fucking gram, dude. Like, so that's why I've always been a little, like I said, maybe I'm just very sensitive to them. I never need to go and do crazy shit. I don't like doing them at concerts. I don't like doing them if I have to drive or something like that. If there's anything that people rely on me for, I can't be doing hallucinogenics. Like I can't comprehend things. Although what's weird is I always say the next day after I've been tripping to everybody, I'm really sorry if I was acting really weird and if I was talking weird, and every single time they're like, no, you seem totally fine, and we were just hanging out, and you went about your business. And I'm like, how the fuck? Because I was so gone. Billy Bong, good thing you didn't eat 3 grams. Yeah, see, and I have in the past eaten multiple grams. Like I'm sure I've eaten like close to 14 grams in a day, maybe more like 15 or a little bit more. So I've done a lot, and that's like I said, throughout a full day. That's like tripping constantly for a full day. Me and my friend had an ounce and split it and just kept eating it and chewing on it like giggling and like just I know I was doing it as like we have that many mushrooms, I don't know, and we're doing them already, so I just kept eating them and it was funny. I remember giggling at least once, because I just kept on fucking eating out of a bag of mushrooms. So see, yeah, but that was a full day tripping really hard. I was really young, and for some reason, when you're really young, shit just didn't matter that much, man. And I didn't freak out. It was just a good day. Had a big old meal at the end of that day. Was watching another horror movie that day and having no problem. Just things are fine. I mean, tripping really hard, but that other times you take a quarter of a gram. That's also age. I feel like at some point your brain and your mind is like elastic, and at some point when you're young it's super stretchy, just like all your muscles and everything is, and as you get older it kind of like starts turning into like stiff, and it's hard to change and learn new things and expand your mind. It can be done, but it's so much harder. If you pull too hard it'll just snap and you'll sit there and have a brain aneurysm and die. No, but I don't think that's necessarily true, but it feels like that. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun, and that's why I like smoking pot. Is when done right at home, I just don't get anxious anymore smoking pot. It's very nice. Sometimes out in public. That's why I sometimes like at work or something like that, I just avoid it. Is because literally anxiety. I'm just like it's just not worth not feeling comfortable. I smoke pot because it's enjoyable. At home and here in my safe zone, I seem to be able to smoke a lot, and it's just chill. Put me in a car like right now, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. All right, Billy Bong, did you see the video of a kid who shot up mushrooms? No, no. How'd that end up working out for him? That sounds terrible. Um, Shooting up anything's bad. Mushrooms is a little weird. Why you would think of to do that shit to do that? That's insane too. Did he trip balls? I know a lot of medical studies that you learn about mushrooms. They're actually doing psilocybin concentrate that they take from a mushroom and then shoot people up intravenously. So when they're like, we did studies on, the psychedelic effects of mushrooms. It's like, yeah, but you didn't just give people a bag of mushrooms, let them eat it, and then like test them in their natural settings. You extracted the psychedelic component, shot somebody up with it, and then put them in a fucking like MRI, and then read their shit. I'm like, yeah, that's I guess one way of analyzing shit. Billy Bone, um, some sort of bacteria started growing in him, shut his kidneys down. I think he has to take medicine for life. Messed him up, almost died. Well, shooting up mushrooms, there's no good end result to that. What was it? You tripped? Good for fucking you. You could have ate those at any time, you know? Any point in time, you could have ate those and been just fine. But no, you decided to fucking. It's like, shove them up my ass. I died. And my rectum literally tripped. It's gone. It took a trip, and it is no longer a part of me. It's like, yeah, well, some people don't deserve to have an. You don't deserve your asshole if you're putting mushrooms in it. You don't deserve your veins if you're trying to shoot them up. It just shows you how you can take something good and fuck it up over and over again. Humans are good at that. We take something halfway decent like coca that's already probably not great for you, turn to cocaine, and that's not good for you. And you're like, you know what we need to do? Let's turn this into crack cocaine. Okay. It's like I just can't wait. I'm just waiting for when. I just can't wait. I just can't wait for the super crack. I'm just waiting for the day when they like take crack and they're like, you know what? We already made crack. We made coke into crack. Now if we take crack and mix it with this, they're gonna make super crack. Just wait. That's what I'm saying. Billy Bong. I think he has to take medicine for life because he's messed up. No. Okay. I read that already. Yeah, that kid's fucked. That's what he gets. And he has to tell everybody about it. He'll live to tell the tale of his ass mushrooms. I'll be right back. I gotta put some water in the shark and dump out the last of this little. Looks so much better clean. I mean, it's not the most braggable piece by any means, but she's clean. I keep it clean though. It's about time. I haven't cleaned this fucking thing in like a year. That's better. We'll take it anyway. Whoa. Does that mean my new drums? There we go. All right. There we are. Water is a little cloudy. I have to dump that one more time. Just clean it with some alcohol. All right. That's better. Not much, but it's better. All right. Cool. Well, we're going to do a dab and then probably call it pretty close to that after. There's that joint. Here's that joint. So, I forgot to say again, Sandy, if you're watching this in the future, which is now the past, which has already not happened, Thank you again for the video game. Last week went superb. Billy Bong, see you later. You have a good night, buddy, if you're out of here. But Sandy, I appreciate it. Samarost Tuesday. I'm looking forward to that again because I'm enjoying that game. It's fun. So even though it makes me look like an idiot, I'm sure, because it's a game that makes you think, and live time when I've never played it, it's probably not the best, but that's okay. It's such a fucking good looking game. All right, let's get a dab going. And yeah, I'm hoping for good things this spring. I'm hoping I didn't bite off too much more than I can chew, in the sense that I have a lot of plants that hopefully be going for. But that's good. And then the mushrooms, and then plants inside and outside, and all the plants and puppies, and then doing this show, making my music. Staying busy has never been hard for me. I hear people who get really bored at home. I know a couple of people who are fucking, they work at home and then they're at home and then they don't have that much to do. And I'm like, God, that's never been a problem for me. So to all the people who are doing stuff, more to you. And that's good. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. It's good for, your spirit. I don't know. It connects all those things anyway. There's not a lot of time, so I'm just trying to pack as much as I can into it while I can. Trying to figure out new things and new avenues. I feel like good things come to those who put some effort into it. So I'm really trying. And this show has always been a good outlet for me. Like I said, I don't have a therapist, but I got a lot of friends. So hopefully you always know that you got a place to talk and have a good time and hang out with your old buddy Venom. So thank you again. Happy Shatterdaze. Woo! We're not fucking around tonight. Ugh. Woo! But yeah, I really need to get back into doing more videos. I still have like 3 videos now that just need editing. The hardest part of doing these videos is to edit them. That takes the longest and the most thought, and yada yada. In some ways, it's the most expensive too, if you consider the programs and shit that you use to do it. But it's gotta get done. Low Knock, the mighty Low Knock. What up, yo? He says, yo, what up? I say, what up, yo? Not much, doing a dab. Might hit a bong like once, and then we got to call it a night. It's going to be an early night. I came on late, and I'm getting off early. But, yeah, I got to do a whole bunch of plant stuff. Today's all about planting and gardening. It's a good day to do so. If you haven't already started, think about it. Yeah, I don't know. I really wish I could have such a huge garden filled with shit, dude. I'm gonna do it. Little by little, until my whole fucking front backyard just have a little path for the dog to run in. No. That's the only thing holding me back from just like fucking building like nothing but either greenhouses and raised beds and shit like that is the puppy. She needs a place to run. So, all right. Let's load up a bowl of green crack, some good stuff. And then I'll cheers you guys all day night because I got to get to it. Start doing the plants the second I get off of here. I already ate a really good dinner, which was a breakfast burrito. But it was a dinner breakfast burrito. I love breakfast when it's not in the morning. I mean, it's fine in the morning, but it's even better in the evening. You know what I mean? All right. Let's get a bong going. See, I'm cleaning this one out right now. Look how much better that one's looking already, too. Look how dirty that water is. See, what I'm going to do is some ghetto shit. Pour this heavily resonated rubbing alcohol. Like, it's melted down at least 2, 3, 4 grams of fucking pure reclaim have just melted into this. It's totally amber colored. You can't even see through it. And the only thing that's in here, besides being crystal clear, was reclaim from dabbing, which has a super high fucking pot concentration still, even this fucking resin. So if you pour it into a Pyrex dish and just let it evaporate, have it just, I put it really safe and in like a closet up on a shelf out of the way and open, so it just evaporates out. On the bottom of that Pyrex dish, you'll have just, and I usually put a piece of paper, just a regular piece of notebook paper over it. So it still has enough to dry out. Like, that's not enough to keep the rubbing alcohol liquid in there, but it keeps stuff from falling into it. Yeah, it's then you go back when all the alcohol's evaporated, take a little blowtorch to the bottom of the Pyrex, and you can just pour that stuff out, or just use it as your new dab jar, your reclaim jar. And it's just filled with that shit. You can put that in blunts. You can do all this stuff with it. You gotta let it dry out for a very long time. It's not ideal by any means. It's called being thrifty, if you have to. Lonoc, I got some sugar diamonds and some crumble from Iceberg Extract. Is it really good? I've been so much more on it on like who makes all my shit. You know what I mean? Because if it's really good, I want to remember that shit and get it again. If I don't like it, it's totally not my thing. I personally have been thinking a lot about extracts, and I don't know. I know what I would like to do is make a ton of extracts from pot. You know what I mean? That would be my goal, is maybe to be the person to do that. You know what I mean? I have a lot of ideas on that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Lonoc, yes, Pyrex dishes work well with any extractions. So yeah, Pyrex is the way to go. So I usually have this little dish bowl thing. And like I said, I just let this shit evaporate into it. And then there's just, the whole bottom's just sticky goo. Like I said, is it awesome? Fuck no. It comes from your bong funk resin shit. But I'll tell you what, you can get fucking mad stoned like 10, 20, 30 more times off of it. So it is what it is. I'm a bit of a cheap ass, but things are going to change. Unfortunately, doing things right is expensive, especially when it comes to extracts. Rosin, I've learned, you need so much rosin to make such a little bit. so much flour to make such a little bit of rosin. I've been watching tons of extract videos because I wanted to buy one. But like, so out of like a pound, I watched these people do like a pound, and they didn't even get like, God, what was it? I forget what. They never said how much. I'm trying to think how much. I mean, maybe an ounce of rosin or something. I don't know. I wish they would have said, but they did not get that fucking much, dude. And it looked great. I will say the stuff they had was like beautiful. It was amazing. But I don't know, man. Uh, so rosin's really expensive. It's really cool. Uh, I don't know. I'm excited to try different things. I wish I had. There's no limit to how much pot you can have. I'll tell you that, especially if you're me, and not just because of how I like to smoke it in a hole, as like just the flowers, because I can grow enough to smoke pretty much. But once it comes to extracts and shit, I'm like, fuck, dude, you need to have a bulk and a supply, which I live in a very small house, which I think is reasonable for being, just, me is me for a very long time. So, I don't know. Low knock, 28 grams must cost over 1,000 an ounce. Oh, wait, 28 grams. It must cost over 1,000 an ounce. See, and I can get some exact numbers here. I should look real quick just so I'm gonna load up a bowl too. Quick bong bowl, and then I'm outs. Gotta go. All right. So they're saying that, and this is from the Triminator Rosin Press thing. And they keep on going into money, which I'd rather not see. But they're saying you get about 5 to 6 grams per ounce if you're squishing it. So they're saying if you do 2 pounds, and you get like 100 grams per pound. So that's a few ounces. So I was gonna say I never saw the exact number. So, but all right. They say if you start with 2 pounds of flour, let's say it's good flour testing at 22% THC, so its market value is $1,000 per pound. So you're starting with $2,000 worth of flour. When you press it and get most of the oil out, around a 19% yield by weight, which seems a little bit high to me, that's almost exactly 200 grams of rosin. At the price of $20 a gram, which is cheap, your 200 grams of rosin is roughly $4,000 worth. So you can almost double the amount of, if you pot, the price of it is what they're saying. I would guess more that if you started with like $2,000 worth of pot, you'd get about $3,000 worth of rosin. Well, maybe more. $20 a gram is pretty cheap, but if you're selling it yourself, that seems about right. So, yeah. So they're saying you got yeah. See here, the Triminer. I just want to see how much the rosin press is. No price on there, so you know it's expensive. Anytime you don't see a price, it's expensive. I'm guessing it's at least 20 grand, somewhere in that range. But anyway, rosin pressing has been very interesting to me. All right, okay, Lona. The Bat. Hello. Jesus, is it bad leaving rosin too long in a fridge? Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. I keep my dabs in the fridge in the very lowest setting, where it's not very cold, really. I mean, comparatively. Just because it's a place to keep them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think in the freezer, you might change things up a bit. It might just change how that looks. You might, like if it's clear, it might fog up or some shit like that, not be clear anymore. But as far as I know, the fridge should be okay. I would just make sure it's in a bag, in a container, and you should be okay. I've had no problem with that. Sometimes I used to hear it's bad to keep your pot in the fridge, but that's mostly because the colder your pot is, the more likely you are to break off the crystals when you're breaking it up instead of having them sticky. It's like all things when it's hot, it's sticky and it turns to sticky. But when it's cold, it breaks and it's brittle and it's kind of frozen. So if you're doing that, I've always heard don't do that. But it's not so much for the freshness of the pot. Kelly, Shandy. Love the purple shark, the old purple shark. I am a big fan. I got this guy because do I even have my music around anymore? I should promote it sometimes, huh? Here we go. There's one. Back when these were a thing. Let's see if you remember what these are. But I used to do a little project here or there, and I still am. I'm excited to be doing a new one, but I have The Purple Shark, which is an album you can find on Spotify and Amazon, and YouTube Music. It's all over. Album I did a while back, and as a celebratory thing, I got the Purple Shark dab rig. So these were two things I did for myself that were really cool, to me anyway. So just notice the shark on the just notice the shark rig. Love it. So the Purple Shark was, again, that's what I did for me. So I didn't have an album release party. I didn't even have many people listen to it, but I didn't push it too hard, and I was never able to form a band like I wanted to because it all fell to shit. This last year didn't help either, right? But yeah, Purple Shark. There will be more of the Purple Shark, so get ready for that world. I'm going to grab the bong. We're going to take a bong rip, and then we're going to call it a night because I got shit to do. Lownock, I like the cover art. Don't love it, but I like it. I did the cover art. So all cover art, music, vocals, production, recording, all that, all this guy. It's on Spotify, if you're on Spotify. It's on Pandora, iHeart Music, fucking YouTube Music, Amazon Music. It's all over the place. So Purple Shark. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's on there. Give it a check out. I'd appreciate it. I've never gotten too many people to listen to my music, even when I'm pushing it on here. So yeah, give it a listen to. It's free. So Hooked on Phonics. I have your album cover for Purple Shark hanging on my wall in my living room. I love it. Well, thank you very much. I thought it was really cool and trippy. I have no idea where to take it. Kelly, will do. Well, thank you. Well, I mean, it's free. The worst you can do is hate it and then comment on it that you're bad. Your music's bad and you should feel bad. That's the worst you can do. But other than that, yeah, it's free. Check it out. Why not? Fuck it. I also have a band called Symbiote on there, but I'm still dealing with these fucking little cock nuggets about fucking taking my Spotify can eat the fattest dick ever. Actually, all the streaming services, they don't give a fuck, dude. So I was able to get most of the people off of fucking Spotify using the name Symbiote who they're not supposed to. One band still does, and they're dicks about it. And I have to make this big long ordeal that Spotify's not willing to do, and I have no time to fucking pursue. So I'm like, whatever. But anyway, so on fucking Spotify, there's these other people that have like a song or two out. I'm sure they'll put out more until I'm able to kick them off too. But Symbiote is my other band. They're worth. They're on there too. I'm making new stuff for both of them. Uh, I got a really cool electronic drum setup for here. It goes right on the table because I was looking at those big electronic drums that you buy. You know what I mean? If you've seen them, I've had acoustic drums. The cats hate them. Hey Zeus, you got that on vinyl? That would be wicked. I thought about getting both of those on vinyl, but I haven't even been able to sell one fucking copy of the CDs or anything. So, and that, they're on Spotify now. I have like 100 CDs of each. My Spotify, my Purple Shark and my Symbiote albums. I have like 100 CDs of each. My plan was to, when I go to concerts and when I go to fucking like anything, festivals and shit like that, is to bring like 20 fucking packs of CDs and just hand them out to anywhere that was cool. And like, or hand them out on the show, give them away as fucking anything. Just get my music out there somehow, some way. But I mean, no one listens to discs anymore, so it kind of sucks. Lonuck, I've been listening to a lot of old school Slayer, like from '84. Nothing wrong with some old school metal. Slayer's pretty cool. Slayer's one of those bands where I never listened to a lot of them, but I mean, they're Slayer. I've seen them in concert. You know, I saw them on their like farewell tour that lasted like 5 years. They'd still be on their fucking farewell tour right now if they didn't fucking if the pandemic didn't happen. Jesus would love a physical copy. So yeah, there's a no necessary there's not necessarily a way to get a physical copy of these right now. I had always wanted to do a website for this show and have a little discussion forum, and so instead of like a Discord, or maybe have it connected to Discord where it just takes you to Discord or something. But have a website, have a discussion forum, have a place to sell my music and T-shirts and anything like that. Hawk anything that I think would sell. But shit like that. Have a connection because I want to start a GoFundMe to go see to have an interview to Chong. All these different things. So, Jesus, I have Discord. See, so I just got one because I was doing video games to mod them out, and the mods were all on a Discord, so that's where I got them from. All right, I'm gonna grab the bong, take a rip. We gotta go. Gotta go. Hurry. All right. Okay. There we are. So soon. Yeah, some danky doja. All right. Gotta love that homegrown. Man. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Hate to just dump that out, so let's put that to the side. I know I have. Yep. an even cooler bowl right there. So let's get this broken up just a touch. No. Of course, I dropped the good stuff. There we go. Packing it fat. Picking that up. And that's covered in hair now. It's still good. Kelly, love homegrown, but since I got my card, I've been smoking medical. And you know, I can say the same for years, for like a 10-year span, where I'm like, yeah, I might as well just keep buying it. It's too convenient. But it wasn't until like the quality has just gone down and down and down. Granted, I buy discount because I'm broke. So I'm like, I can either take that discount money that I've been spending on shit, or I can just grow it myself. And I've been growing it myself, and it turns out amazing. So it's how it has to go. Lonak, music gone to shit nowadays. So I've been listening to a lot of old school shit. I tend to listen to a lot of old stuff too. I don't know. I try to listen to everything. I try to be very open with my music, but there's so much of it. It's hard to stay relevant. My biggest thing is just trying to make music. I got this sweet electronic thing. Check out this little drum set I got. So it comes with little kick pads too. So and then I can hook that to my DAW, my music station, and make it into any drum set I want. That I have like maybe like 30 or 40 like legit drum sets on. Addictive Drums is what I use, and it's like a MIDI controller. And because I wanted to get a drum set first off, like a legit drum set, can't fucking afford. Well, I can afford it, but like A, it takes up a lot of space, and B, the cats hate it. Then I was gonna get an electronic drum set, which is the same thing, but they're just these pads on like a drum set, and you can play it there. And again, cats fucking hate it. They're still pretty noisy, and I have no room for it. Then I saw this tabletop pad. I'm like, dude, I can literally set it right here. My piano's here, my fucking guitars are here. I got a bunch of wall hangers, so I'm just making all this space. And then I'm like, oh, dude, this fucking drum set's perfect. It's been great. So, all right, Kelly, why is different so much cheaper than concentrate? Are you saying why is distillate? Wait, or why is different so much cheaper than concentrate? I don't know. You have to help me with that one. I don't know, man. I'm not a musician. LOL. Yes. Yes. But anyway, got that. I'm very excited to play with that, was my whole thing. Very fun. Yeah. Anyway, auto text. And that's what I was thinking. No worries. What was I going to say? Why is it distillate cheaper than concentrate? Or why is... I'm trying to think of what it was saying. But anyway, I better head out, guys. It's almost 10. I still have so much shit to do and then work in the morning. I appreciate the hell out of every one of you. It's been a good time. It always has. It always has been. Hopefully it always shall be. But yeah, let's cheers up to this green crack. I'll see you next Tuesday for some Samarost. Hopefully I get some time to do some more editing on some videos, get those out. Thank you for everyone who watched all the videos that you've watched. It's nice. I appreciate it. Again, and the music, if you want to check that out, I appreciate that too. Anyway, till next week, till next Tuesday. So just a few days. Lona, good night, man. Just wanted to smoke with a buddy, man. Well, here you go. Now's your chance. Let's get that far away from here. Desolate concentrate. Desolate. Distillate? The only thing I'm thinking is distillate, which I like distillate. And what are you saying? Why is it so much cheaper than concentrate? Um, I don't know. If you get cheap stuff, I would go with that. Usually it's okay. I like distillate. Distillate's just like a different way of getting a concentrate, and I have good luck with it. Uh, it's a little runny for my taste, but it's good. All right. Glad to smoke with you guys, says Kelly. 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 Good night. Mr. Ziggy came in to say good night to all of you. Say good night, Ziggy. All right. Okay, yes, Kelly. So distillate. Distillate's good. I've had really good distillate. Unless there's, I mean, you can only get good hash from good pot. So if you have shitty pot, you'll get shitty distillate or hash or shatter, wax, sugar, diamonds, butter, all that stuff. You only can start with good marijuana. So grow good buds, get good hash. That's how it's got to go. Till next time, guys. Here's some green crack. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much for another awesome one. Good night, everybody. Take it easy. Keep Kiwi.